Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome to episode number 4 of the Strat Butcher build, and here it is at the moment how it looks. This has had around 3 coats of the black stain. It is still not super black. It's very smooth. I'm not 100% how I'm going to go about this. I think it just needs a little bit more staining, and then I think we can move on to the Danish oil after that. The tape is starting to peel already, so there's not going to be a huge amount of use. So yeah, pretty much in this video we're going to put another layer of stain on here, and we are going to get this guitar finished. Not assembled, but get all of the finish on. So here we go. Wow, that's actually looking pretty good there. Right, cool beans. After about 20 minutes or so, this is where we are at, which I think looks pretty damn cool. So really pleased with that. Do I just go straight to the oiling now and then leave this? I think this is going to take a little while to get out. In fact, let's just do a really quick tester. If it looks like it's going to take ages, Let's just get first coat of oil on the black and see if that's going to move and all of my scraping would have been worthless. Because that might happen. That might happen. The oil is definitely going to move around. Some of the colour is going to come out of the top. So what I've done here is I've actually taken the colour ever so slightly over the curve of the edge of the headstock, which that's generally how it's done for painting. So I thought, well, I'm going to do the same for the staining. I'll just try this little bit here at the top that just needs a little bit of work, and line's looking pretty good. See what we can do about this line here. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's good. I think that's almost good enough. It's a beautiful, mega dark brown black. It's like black chocolate. It's, yeah, it's really cool. I really like it. I like that. Coat number 2 on the front. It's also going to be coat number 1 on the back. Three. Three coats on. I've left it 20-ish minutes since the last coat, and now I am just going to buff the oil out. Tomorrow, before I put the 4th coat on, I'm going to very lightly scuff it up with some 800 wet and dry. Then I'm going to oil, and I'm going to sand the oil in, leave it to dry for 20 minutes, and then come and wipe off the excess again. Now is the time where I want to start building super fine layer of slurry in with it and not leaving any excess, because that will aid the drying time. It's going to be coat number 4. It's she's quite dry. You can still smell, so it's still curing, which we know this. This is the 5th coat, or about to be the 5th coat. After that sanding yesterday, it does feel very smooth on the top of the body. It does just feel still slightly gummy, but there's no wet spots or anything anywhere on the front or the back. My original thought was it was going to take like 10 or 12 coats, but then forgetting that Danish oil doesn't need that many coats. It doesn't build the same kind of finish. It is more of a satin finish. So this is definitely feeling like super smooth. Let's have a little look-see at the neck. Again, very smooth. If anything, I will end up doing more coats on the neck, because I want it to be really, really smooth. I mean, that is good. It's still quite smelly. Right, it's been a couple of days since the last coat of oil. So I think it's 5 coats in total. The Danish oil definitely does not build a gloss film like other oils do. Not like the crimson oil. The last time I used some Danish oil on a piece of walnut, it did actually get very glossy, but I think I really, really hammered the amount of oil that I put on there, and it did get quite sticky. I had to kind of like take quite a bit off and go back, so I didn't really want to do that. This is the first guitar I've done with Danish oil, so it is a bit of an experiment. So it still smells a little bit. It's probably another 48 hours until it's fully cured. At that point, I will just use some Renaissance wax to go over everything, just as, well, some protection, and it'll hopefully just bring out a bit more of the luster. The only thing I've been doing a couple of times a day at the moment is just really buffing the guitar down as much as possible. You know, if there's any dirt or any grub still on there, just trying to get that off, especially on the back of the neck, because I mean, it feels very, very smooth at the moment. I used some 4000 grit on there, the last couple of coats of oil, and just like barely anything at all. So just really keeping up with that. If it still ends up being not quite as smooth as what I want, I will go higher, up to about 15,000 grit I've got. And this is what happens when I sit on the couch. Hello, doggies. Hello. Hello. Come on, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. But what I want to do now, while this is still another couple of days away before I can really start putting any wax on and start thinking about the assembly, is I need to shield the cavities, and I am going to do that using shielding paint. I'm not having pickup rings on the pickups, so I don't want to use foil in there, and I do find it looks a bit neater when you remove the cavities not to have copper foil all over the place, unless you do it super, super neatly. I'd rather just use some conductive graphite paint, which I've got some there. So I'm going to do pickup cavities now, and then once that's dry tomorrow, I will do the rear cavities, and then I will just give it another day or so after that, just to make sure everything is cured. As soon as it stops smelling, giving off any smells of the oil, that's when you know that it's cured, and it does still smell. Not very much, which is good. That's why I've brought it inside into the heat, because it's cold in the shed. So, some of this paint. Quiet. Okay, YouTube, it's been a bit dirty there. It's been a couple of days. Had the pickup cavities painted black. I've also gone ahead and painted the rear cavities in the black shielding paint as well. And I think about 3 days later, still not fully cured, which is a tremendous shame. I have got 2 gigs to play in 4 days time, back-to-back gigs. I really wanted to have this guitar finished and completely 100% assembled and playable and play it at this show this weekend, but it's not cured. I don't want to rush it. I always do that. I always end up rushing at the very end and never being 100% satisfied with the instrument. So I'm not going to do that unless by some miracle that it's cured perfectly on Saturday morning and it just goes together seamlessly. Then I think I'm just going to leave it hanging for a few more days to fully cure up. The neck is really smooth now. It's really starting to harden up, which is really great. So it's not far off. I think it's something to do with the temperature. It's really cold at the moment, and we've just had some big winds and some big storms, so there's quite a lot of humidity in the air. It's not very dry, even though it's been indoors in the house in a warm environment. I don't think then it's getting enough airflow to it. That's what these things need to dry, is they need dry heat and airflow. But it is really looking beautiful. Super happy with it. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. So until that happens, I'm going to call this as the end of the video here. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I guess my question is Danish oil the world's best satin easy oil finish? And I think it could be, because it's really simple. Anyone can do this. You don't need any special tools or equipment. So definitely gets a thumbs up from me. And if you like what you see and you want to follow along, I'm currently doing the triple Telecaster build. That's ongoing, and really posting a lot of stuff on my Instagram channel. Head down there and give me a like, give me a share, give me a sub. All those kind of things would be really appreciated. And yeah, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.